Okay. Okay, well, welcome back, everyone. Thanks for coming to the closing session. We still have a lot of feedback that we would like from you. We were hoping that you would tell us what are your key takeaways from today. So what key takeaways do you guys have? You have to log into Mentimeter again, so menti.com. And this is a word cloud. So I would try to be succinct if you can, but type in whatever you would like. And we will see them rolling in. I know Sarah always shares key takeaways, but it's always nice for you folks to share yours so that we know, all of us know what you're thinking about, because your key takeaway may not be somebody else's. It may trigger you to have other, oh, okay, great. We need more certified. Awesome. Collaboration, so more collaboration is needed. Okay, certified now. Crunch time for certs. Networking. Reporting. Oh, somebody mentioned 9902 visualizations. Awesome. I want to talk to you if you're excited about that. Me or Rachel. That would be nice. Okay, use pre-test tools. I'm seeing all sorts of great things here. Encourage test taking, social media, marketing. Some of you are still thinking about the CMR and the New York presentation.
That's great.
Okay. Okay, great. More on mental counseling. Okay, good. Okay, so that's our first question. We're going to do a second one. Okay, so we would like to know if you're coming back for tomorrow, because we have some subsequent questions that we will ask you after Sarah does her thank yous and takeaways. So, okay, so are you coming back for day 2? I think you have 3 options. Yes, I can't wait. No, I can't take another day out of the office. Of course, CMS and HCS are my favorites. So, okay. All right. Ooh, you guys are quick on this one. Okay, great. Okay, so it looks like, okay, we got 30 reporting, almost 30. So most of you are coming back for tomorrow, right? Okay, wonderful. Okay, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so at this point, I will turn it over to Sarah, and then I'll be back up at the end for 2 anonymous questions. So I want to make sure that you guys see those. They won't be broadcast, they will be behind the scenes, but we still want you to answer. Because that's how we are doing evaluations now. We are no longer able to do the full evaluation. One of those is really your feedback about how today went. Okay? Thank you so much, and I'll turn it over to Sarah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sean, and thank you, everybody. You've been fantastic partners all day today, and I've just had so much fun eavesdropping on the different conversations. I have a little bit of business to do, and that is to say thank you to the village that puts together this event each year. Of course, Jane and Javon back there have been the leaders of this team since last year. But we've had a number of other partners and friends do it. Among the HUD staff, you've met many of them already, but Terry Carr, Charlene Young, Ruth Roman, Jerry Mayer, Brian Siebenlist, Keisha Wright, Phyllis Ford, Jane, Sharita, and Javon, and many of the folks who escorted. I just want to thank all of the HUD staff for a phenomenal job. We had a lot of partners, and our partners in preparing this were included Greg Zagorski and Glenn Gallo from the National Council of State Housing Agencies, Ellie Pepper and Brewster Palin from the National Housing Resource Center, and Matt Rebe and Linda Davis-Demis, the Coalition of HUD Intermediaries. So thank you to our partners, and thanks to the HUD staff very much for their work. We had some wonderful presenters today. As you may know, HUD pays an amazing honorarium of $1,000 for each presenter. Jennifer Murphy, David Young, Bruce Marks, and our presenters tomorrow you'll hear from as well. And I'm leaving out some presenters. I guess Lauren Banks, that's who I was looking for, Teresa Hauk, and then ICF, who's our contractor that helps us pull the whole day together and actually helps this live so that we refer to it, I refer to it long after today is done for what input did we get, what do we need to know. I can tell you we use this all year long. So I really wanted to thank Shauna Marai and her incredible team, Rachel Laurillard, Nicole Hassman, Dan Hegner, Kim Wolos. Did I forget anyone? I want to thank our AV team in the back who's recording this for us and really will keep it living for all of you and the folks from other intermediaries who couldn't be here today. So, in thinking about my themes and takeaways from today, mine were a little different. I've been giving a lot of thought, I love the idea that we've been around 50 years. And it's amazing to be a program that's been around 50 years. And the theme of our conference in June was Building Tomorrow Together. And I really think that everything about today was about how we build tomorrow. And not just tomorrow for the short term, what do we do immediately, but I really see kind of a mind shift in thinking about how we build tomorrow for the long term. And certification, the word cloud's gone now, but you know, a lot of the ideas you had out there, the importance of networking, and that has a lot of deep meanings with an intermediary group, right? Networking within your networks, among your networks, individually. So I think there's a lot of strength there. But the theme today, which I had absolutely nothing to do with, was called Opening Doors with Housing Counseling, right? And whose idea was that, by the way? Was it yours?
I think it was
all collaborative. Okay, no, all right, a big stuffer. Well, I'll tell you something very funny. So 40 years ago, not 50 years ago, but 40 years ago, I had just finished my second stint as a summer intern at HUD, believe it or not, in this building. And I was writing my senior thesis, and I'm a little housing obsessive, you know, and so I wrote my senior thesis on building low-income housing in the suburbs, and what could the federal government do to help people build low-income housing in the suburbs. The title of my thesis was Opening Doors with Federal Dollars. And to say that 40 years later, I'd be here at a conference called Opening Doors about a program that was around when I was working back then, and that we're doing that together is just really freaking me out a little bit. So I decided that what I heard today wasn't quite building tomorrow together, wasn't quite opening doors, but it was really game changers. What I'm hearing is laying the groundwork for what's really going to happen down the road and make a difference. And I heard 4 game changers. The first was around technology. Lots of tech talk. We're going to have more tomorrow. We're at an inflection point with technology in this industry. And to the extent you have agencies, and I was in one a couple weeks ago, that can barely use HCO or Counselor Max, that really like doing it the old handwriting way, I think now is the time that there will be tools that it's worth the learning curve to really understand, because your counselors are going to do so much better for their clients. If they've got their budget at their fingertips, if they can show the client that your credit score went from X to Y, if they can really track the progress, and if they don't have to spend 20 minutes of each hour reporting, it's going to be a game changer. And you'll hear about some of that tomorrow, but your job, and you've been doing this, is really preparing your affiliates for getting that technology mindset that it's going to be your friend. It's not something you have to endure. We talked about remote reviews. We talked about social media applications, about different ways that people are going to be engaging in the future. So technology, I think, is the first game changer in housing counseling. The second is always organizational resources, sustainable resources for the industry, organizational strength. How are you going to be strong enough to help your agencies 5? What tools can you put in place, or what great ideas and best practices can you steal from each other so that you're creating as strong a network as possible? Third game changer is certification. And I think just like technology, I think that folks are getting their heads around the fact that this is not only I've got to do it, but that actually it's going to be really good for your clients, it's going to be good for your professional career, it's going to be good for your organization. I'll tell you a story that scared me a little bit. Someone who won't be named said to me, you know, we thought about publicizing that our counselors were getting certified, and then we got nervous that if we made a big deal about it, they would just get poached by other agencies. And I have to say that I understand that feeling a little, but I have absolutely no sympathy for it. If you're not providing a good enough work environment for your counselors, they deserve to get poached. If you're not proud of them and proud enough of them that you're not going to say in the paper, I've got certified counselors and that means something at this agency, then shame on you. So that's my not a HUD official opinion. But I just want to say, you should be damn proud of those counselors, and I am, and I hope you are too. And I'm glad to see certification. We spent a lot of time on it, and you guys are great because you really carry the message and give us the feedback on how to deliver a message on something that's a big change for people. The last game changer, I think, is around impact and measuring impact. Fascinating to me that we bring up the possibility of adding new reporting requirements, and all I hear about is how can we present them so that we tell our story, and can you add a couple more, like landlord education, all right? Who does that? Who says, please let us report more? Oh my God. No, what that means to me is that this industry understands the value of data, the value of showing the impact of what you've done. And yes, the work and agony that go into it is horrible, but there's a benefit at the end, and your job doesn't stop when you've hit the send button. Your job is to take that data and really tell the story. So I took that away. I know you've taken away a lot more as well, but I just want to say that I have a lot of confidence. I was going to say total confidence, but I can't do that. 50 years from now, our industry descendants, will be able to celebrate a purpose, a mission of having empowered, educated consumers who are controlling their future in the real estate process, in their housing choices, in their budgeting, and that the groundwork that we've built on and will continue to lay is going to be there in the years to come. So I want to thank you all for that, and I want to thank the folks who were a big part of this. I am going to turn it back over to Shauna for her last two questions, and I will see you tomorrow.